When I talk to men who are emotionally available, who are really high quality men, masculine men, and what is it that they're really looking for? It's interesting because they're looking for the type of woman who is super dynamic, where you're smart, you're independent, you're capable, you're fun, you're sexy, you're all the things that would make a great partner in his life, just like he needs to be all the things that will make a great partner in your life. And there's something about your feminine energy that he just loves. And there's a lot of videos around masculine and feminine energy, and frankly, a lot of misconceptions about healthy masculine and healthy feminine energy. A lot of people think that toxic masculinity is masculinity, or toxic femininity, just being passive and being a doormat, is femininity. And that's not the case at all. You probably understand that as human beings, we all have both masculine and feminine energy. And one will be in the foreground and one will be in the background. In other words, one of those energies is the one that we tend to lead with in certain areas of our life. So why is it that healthy, emotionally available, masculine men love feminine energy? What is it about that? So today I'm going to share with you 5 things specifically that feminine energy does to the masculine man that just drives him wild. Number 1 is your feminine actually draws out his masculine. You see, whatever energy feels like home base for us, you might feel like your home base is feminine energy, or you might feel like your home base is masculine energy. How do you know what your home base is? Well, it's whatever feels good to you, whatever actually feels life-giving to you. And it's on a spectrum. It's not like we're all in one or all in the other. So if you would love a masculine man, being in his masculine is going to feel really good. And the more that you are actually anchored in your feminine energy, the more it draws him into his masculine. Early in my dating life, I learned how to date, believe it or not, by watching my older sister. And the reason I chose her is because she's 2.5 years older than me, and she was having all kinds of success in her love life. Like, all these guys were asking her out, and I was looking at that going, wow, that looks successful. So I studied her moves, I studied her strategies, and I got really good at dating with feminine energy, where I could kind of draw women to me. I could get women to ask me out. And so while I was learning how to attract women with feminine energy, guess what kind of woman I was attracting? Women who were really comfortable in their masculine, who had no problem being the one to ask me out, to pursue me, which in the short term actually felt kind of cool, felt good, but it wasn't effective long term, because ultimately what would happen is the attraction would deflate, because masculine and feminine energies are polar. They ignite attraction with one another. And while I was using feminine strategies to kind of attract people, very quickly my masculine energy would take the foreground, and we'd either butt heads or the attraction would deflate and we become buddies. So when you are anchored in your feminine and you actually draw your man more and more into his masculine, it's going to feel life-giving. And that's exactly what my wife did when I first started dating her. Irene was so strong, so powerful, and so anchored in her feminine that even though I kind of was starting with some feminine strategies, she drew me right into my masculine energy, and it was a feeling that I'd never really had before, and it was so life-giving and affirming for me. So the first great benefit that men love is as you're anchored in your healthy feminine energy, his healthy masculine energy begins to expand, and those energies attract one another. The second reason why masculine men love feminine energy is that in that relationship, he feels on purpose. Here's the deal. Masculine energy loves to provide. It loves to protect. Feminine energy loves to receive. Now, you can move into any energy that you want. Of course, you're able to provide for yourself. You're able to protect yourself, all of those things. But when you create a space that masculine energy can provide or serve or deliver happiness to you, it helps him feel necessary. It helps him feel capable. It helps him feel on purpose. And anytime we feel on purpose, we feel capable, we feel necessary, it expands the beautiful feeling in ourselves, especially someone who loves masculine energy, if that's his home base. One of the challenges that a lot of women will talk about is, well, I don't need a man. And let me say, a man needs to feel needed. But here's the challenge and the misconception. You don't have to be needy to need a man. In fact, the opposite is true. The more capable you are, the more powerful this dynamic affects the relationship. Where if he knows you're capable and yet you create space for him to serve you, to be on purpose with you, the more powerful the effect of attraction and connection he's going to have with you. The third reason that masculine energy loves the feminine is it helps bring him into his peace. Because masculine energy is cognitive energy. And you might relate to this. If you ride around most of the day up here in your head and you're goal-oriented and you're visioning and you're strategic and all of this very masculine energy, feminine energy resides in the body, specifically in the heart space and in the present moment. See, masculine is future-oriented, achieving goals, creating visions. Feminine energy is present-oriented. So when you can help bring a man into the present moment, that's where we access peace. Peace isn't in the future pursuit of achieving goals. Peace is in the tranquility of the present moment. It's in the gratitude of life as it is, as it's unfolding and as it's happening. Peace is, let me release control and let me just experience and soak in the wonder of this particular moment. And the feminine is amazing at this. And so when you're embodying your feminine energy, you can draw him out of this sort of achieving modality into this beautiful moment of the present energy and experiencing his peace. And that is a beautiful experience for him. And this brings us right into the fourth reason that the masculine loves the feminine is that life becomes richer. Life simply becomes more dynamic, right? If you're constantly running in masculine energy, it's that one-dimensional. But when you're able to pair that with feminine energy, life becomes richer. And here's some of the ways. Remember, feminine energy is receptive. And so your ability to receive pleasure, your ability to receive the sensations of the food, the air on your skin, the music in the room, your ability to be present and receive the beauty and the richness that's all around us is what enhances our experience of life. And feminine energy has a really beautiful, unique way of being open to that, being receptive to that, being like this sponge to beauty. And remember, we're not talking male or female. All of us have masculine and feminine energy. So even a man who's really enjoying his meal and soaking that in, he's engaged in the feminine energy, receiving that experience. And so being with feminine energy can invite him into that experience and helping him experience the full richness that's available. And number 5, and this one is fascinating. You see so many examples of amazing partnerships that work well, where they're achieving extraordinary results because one person is representing more masculine energy, one person is representing more feminine, but here's what the feminine is doing. The feminine, we talk about receptivity, the feminine is in tune with their intuition in a really profound way. Like you've often heard the term women's intuition. Well, where does that come from? That comes from this intuitive sense, this gut feeling, if you will. Great leaders, whether you're a man or a woman, doesn't matter, have a highly developed intuitive faculty where they just know what direction to take, what decision to make, or what to avoid so they don't go down the wrong track. Now, as I was saying, we all have the logical sense, we all have a visioning capacity, and we all have an intuitive faculty. And when the masculine is with someone who is grounded in their feminine and they're in tune with that intuition more often, she can be an amazing resource, an amazing guide, an amazing support for him, helping him see things that he might not be readily seeing because he's way more locked into his masculine energy and logic and vision in that moment. And so my question for you is this. When you think about feminine energy, you think about masculine energy. If you're the kind of person where your home base is feminine energy, that's the energy you love to have in the forefront of your life, what do you love about masculine energy? Go ahead and post those in the comment section below. Love to hear your thoughts on this. Here's to your amazing love life. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.